So, before I start the video, I just have to say I'm going to be continuing the gaming stuff on my channel. And anyway, if you guys can hear me, I'll turn it up better. So anyway, I'm going to be continuing the gaming stuff on my channel later on. But I'm going to start posting more parts to this series. And this is only the one of part 1 of Naruto. And I'm going to ship it in later, but for now, that's where I am. And I'm going to be skipping the Sasuke Chico art. So yeah, this is just the first 5 parts of the series. Cue the intro. It's hiding in the dark. His teeth are razor sharp. There's no escape for me. It was my soul, it was my heart. No one can hear me scream. Maybe it's just a dream. And it's anonymous. I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become. The darkness has begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I'm gonna lose control. It's something radical. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. Yusaka. She is a nine-tailed fox yokai. She will be the cousin to Kurama in this timeline. So just know that. So, bruh. This is not even you, bruh. Sorry about that, y'all. Bruh, this is not even, this is just wrong. Ooh, shoot. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway. So, Naruto was born pretty much canon. Nothing would really change much. But Naruto will, instead of Naruto being born with yellow hair, Naruto was born with white hair. And for some reason, Minato and Kushina saw markings on his face. And they're like, what the fuck? Why does Naruto's eyes, they used to see his eyes glowing at the same time and white hair? They're asking the doctor, and this is when Kushina, Mia asks Minato, did she cheat on him? He's like, no, I would never cheat on you. This is when they would hear that, this is when they would see that's their son. So yeah, this is when I shot. This is when I'm like, wait, what? Wait, that's our actual son? This one, the doctor's like, yes. Just because you see something. So just because he looks different than you two doesn't mean he's not your son. The nurse would be like, this one, they're like, yeah, you're right. Anyway, this one, we can deal with it. So yeah, so anyway, so this is gonna be a part I'm gonna keep continuing. I know you guys thinking, okay, so am I gonna continue the what if Issei was in high school DxD? But not Gogeta was in high school. Gojo. Bro, I don't even know what I'm saying no more. Bro, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So yeah. Bro, I don't even know what I'm saying. Not Gojo. So, Gojo. Sorry, guys. So, First Deity, Naruto, which we would call him that. So they would just send a divine aura always around Naruto, at all times. Now, I don't have that picture today. Well, I didn't take a picture of it. But in next part, I promise you guys I'm going to take a picture of it. Because it's a very cool picture I found of First Deity, with this strange aura around his eyes and his eye glowing. But anyway, so when Obi tries to pick up Naruto, bro, he could feel that immense power around him. And he's like, what the living nine-tailed fox is wrong with this kid? He is way too powerful to be a little brat. He's like, this is when Minato was able to get Naruto back, and he's like, you're safe now, my son. This is when, pretty much canon would happen if the nine tails would be sealed inside of Naruto. as a different Nine Tails was sealed inside of Naruto. It was her. She was sealed inside of Naruto. But in her her giant fox form, that's change. So they didn't know what it was. So yeah. So they would be like, so she would say, well, I'm another human. And I wonder what Kurama's doing. Because I'm going to say that they're like siblings. No, they're not siblings, they're like cousins. It's like her cousin, but Kurama doesn't know about it because other men know about it. So anyway, so you would see Naruto would now be alright, so we time skip to when Naruto was walking around the village. So Naruto would automatically like not be liked at all. Like he naturally has like this aura of like, yeah, I don't want to be around you. That's bad. You can literally say that's like the natural aura this man had. So yeah. But Naruto would never notice the aura though. He would never notice because he would get naturally hated. As Naruto at a young age, he would already be learning now. He would train with like with a long stick and train and like trying to do swords training. And he's like, oh man, I'm gonna have to get some scrolls or something. I can't just be doing these basic moves. As he then finds this shop with a whole bunch of scrolls in there for ninja suits. I don't know if these people were actually nice. They didn't care what you were. There's also asked them, could he get some scrolls? They're like, sure. If they give him the scrolls, if he's like, He studies pretty much every single sword style. As a botany master, he's 10 years old, as he's naturally taller than most kids. You could say he was around Shippuden Naruto's. He would be around Shippuden Naruto's height when he's only 12 years old. Because if some people may not know this, but the first deity is a giant. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Sorry about that. After this quick silence, so Naruto would just train and how it works. So yeah, so Naruto would say, you're interesting. Naruto's like, this is interesting. My training results are like naturally getting better and better. And this is so when Naruto, I'm gonna say like the villagers chased him into a cave. As he's like, I'm never gonna have a friend. He's like, I'm never gonna have a friend. You know, it's like, my life is so horrible. He's like, well, to me, my life is fine, but to most people, to everyone else, they see me nothing more than being used for like a bit of destruction. That's what they think of me as. I'm never gonna have real friends. It's like, so yeah. So Naruto, he sees a very large sword. Naruto got 3 different swords. Just know that. So he sees a very large sword, like just sitting there. As like it's like a long, like double-handed sword, which he is with one of the like pieces of the sword going across and the other one going that way. And it would close in the middle. Half of it was blue, half of it was white. But it looked more like a greenish color when it's together. As it had the slate right next to it, it says, "This sword belongs to a mighty God that can surpass can't even surpass the God of gods." It says on there. And he says, "Interesting." As Naruto grabs the sword, as then his eyes begin to glow along with his markings. As when the villagers got there, they see a cap, a long blue cap on his head, and his hair got a little longer, along with him getting armor plates and 3 gems on his neck, like for a necklace. he would have like a dark blue a dark blue undershirt under it, with gold and silver armor plates, with long boots on, and he got super muscular along with these weird gauntlets that look really cool. They kind of look like grenades were like around it, with a red stripe on both of the end of it. With it's a brown, it was long big brown boots that was kind of like sagging on him since he was still a little kid. As the sword just naturally came on his back, along with the blade, as he got taller to around the size of an adult. As he says, as his sword began to glow a bright green, hey! As he then sliced right towards them. As he sliced right towards them, as the villagers got hit, they didn't die. They just got hit with a strong wind, and they would get sent flying back to the village. I mean, flying, fam. So yeah. So Naruto was like this power. As he would then meet himself, as he's like, "Who are you?" Naruto saying confusion. Naruto's like, Naruto's like, he says, "My name is Fierce Deity. I am a god. I am a god. I'm a swordsman. I am a swordsman god." He says, I am a very powerful god, and I was once one of the strongest gods, but until I was turned into a mask, like by a boy. His name was Link. That took that name and Korean made it my own. I like how as he calls it, as they would call it, the First Deity Link. This one they're like, oh, sounds pretty cool. He's like, and I see you, and I have two more swords that no one really uses. He's like, so yeah. And I have them too, and then I have two other swords that you may not see right now, but you'll see it soon, kid. He's like, this Naruto's like, he's like, Naruto's like, you know. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So basically, as First Deity was telling Naruto that I have two more swords, and I have two more swords you're gonna need to use. One, hold on, guys. This look like one. Both of them look just like the sword you currently have on your back, but it has like a gem like in the middle, but like it look kind of like an blue and gold eye. And it's like they're both spiky, and the other one has a red slime line on there. Red slime? Sorry about that. Anyway. So, Naruto, but basically just tells him. So, the first lady will explain how the swords both work. You guys will see what the swords look like in the next part. But for now, I'm not going to show them to you guys. But just know that they're going to be more powerful than the regular double helix sword. That's the name of his blade. So, he would wield the double helix blade. He'd be very good at it, as one of the villagers told the Hokage about this. But Naruto then put the sword away, as he transformed back into a smaller version. What's up, guys? It's your boy Yaigo the Just H here, and we're back with part 2 to What If Naruto. Sorry about this film. Anyway, sorry about that, fam. This is Part 2. So what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Fierce Deity? Wait. Grandfather? So, sorry about that in the background, my little sister's just watching Parent Trap, so forgive me for that, y'all. Anyway. That tall, gangly thing? Yes. So anyway, I'm sorry. Bro, I don't think this. Bro, I was stupid anyway. Every time, sweet pea. Great. So anyway. So, Naruto was now 12 years old. As he's getting better at using his first Deity's power. Every time he uses like summons, every time he uses his blade. Good to have you back. Daddy? Mother, you're back! Yusaka, she did not want to ruin this man's life, so she's interested in him. She sees like potential as a potential ship in Naruto. As Naruto would now have to do all the 3 basic jutsus, which Naruto would be able to do with all of them. He was only able to make about 2 clones, but Mizuki still tells him about that. Naruto still falls for it, even though the first deity, along with Yusaka, even though the first deity never told him not to. He didn't listen to him, saying that I don't need your help right now, first deity, I want to choose my own thing right now. Which, that ended up being his downfall because, he ended up getting tricked by Mizuki and, all the canon check happens. But he sees 2 jutsus he particularly like. The Shadow Clone Jutsu and the Flying Thunder God ability. So he picks up both of them because of his immense talent is greater than it was in canon. So Naruto learns their attacks. So he learns their attacks. And he's not their attacks, he learned their abilities. And the Ruka guys are and see Naruto, who look like he really just trained for non-stop hours. As Naruto then says, Sensei, what are you doing here? He's like, you'll want to be talking to Naruto, and then tells him, you stole the scroll's feeling, and yada yada yada. So it's like, what are you talking about, Sensei? Luke explains, Naruto's like, what have I done? This is my first date. He says, I just told you that, man, not to listen to him. He's like, well, I want to make my own decisions. Naruto's like, that's how you listen to me. I'm you. I am like you with much more knowledge. First date, he's like, Naruto's like, you're right. Sorry about that at first date. He's like, well, it is your decision after all, Naruto, so you were free to decide anyway, so it's not like you actually did anything wrong. Naruto says anyway, this is what Naruto didn't say. This is when Mizuki tricks Naruto still runs away to scroll, choosing which side should he be on. The side of the leaf or the side of Mizuki. So as Naruto chooses his side, he decks Mizuki in the gut with a punch. And Mizuki says, "Impossible! Oh, you're so strong, husband." And pulls out the first deity sword. And he's like, "None of your beeswax." He's like, "None of your business, Mizuki." Naruto's like, "You're not my sensei. Ruka is." He's like, as he says, Ruka's like, "Naruto." He's just like, Naruto chuckles, saying, "Yes, sensei." This one Naruto's like, he's like, "Why are you laughing, Naruto?" Naruto's like, "You'll see in a minute." He then takes out, as he, in the picture, Naruto then takes out his blade. As Naruto had, before, he just had on, a pair of, black, shinobi pants with, tape wrapped around, his, part where the shoes go, and then his black shinobi sandals with a blue jacket with the sign of the Fierce Deity on the back, or with the Fierce Deity's mask on the back for his marking. And yeah, and it's when it's almost day, he has to face paint, but his eyes doesn't glow; they're just regular white, like in the picture. But like when he uses his power, his eyes glow white. So this is when he takes out the sword. This is when he does a left in the sky and a bright light. As this is when Maruka first sees Naruto's hands, and they turn into his gauntlets, and they get super muscular. And then he then gets a big chest plate. And he then gets a tunic and then like tights. Then he also gets two giant boots. As he basically gets taller than Aruka. He's like success. He's like success. This is when he's like so yeah. So he's like success. What's up, guys? It's Yaigo the Chess Sage here, and we're back with part 3 to What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of his Deity Link? Now, so far I think you guys have really enjoyed the series, and hopefully today I'm going to be recording What If Naruto with a Hybrid Part 5. What if Jack? He's currently not online right now, but yeah. So we will do that together. So until now, I just post videos on my channel by myself. So this is so Kakashi would walk in to see the boy sitting in the back quietly, not even saying a word. And the other one, a girl just glaring on up at like this boy, that Uchiha kid. So yeah, he's like, oh man, let's see, I got a quiet one, and he said this was like, he's like, okay, so I have a quiet one, and I have an Avenger. That's just funny. He's like, this is when Naruto's Chuck was in his head saying, if you really wanted to defeat me, I'll let you try, bro. But anyway, until now, you were the one I looked up to, and I'm gonna make you pay. Sorry guys. Even though that's just that's in my intro. So yeah. Anyway, so he tells them all to go up on the roof as Naruto skates his goals. Naruto says, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. My goal is to, well, that's none of your concern. My dreams, my likes and everything, and none of your concern. My dislikes is suck it up. I don't know. Sakura's like, hey, what did I do? I just particularly don't like you at all, Sakura. Like, there doesn't even have to be a reason. I just don't like you. She's like, oh man, I don't know. Maybe Sasuke don't like me. I said, like, I don't like you either. So anyway. So we would go to the, so Kakashi would tell them that they have a test and that they shouldn't eat. And it's called the bell test. Naruto wouldn't listen to Kakashi because he's not stupid at all. He knows Kakashi is lying because his divine sense can tell him that the man lying. That he just knows that he can sense that aura of Kakashi. So yeah. So he goes home and eats breakfast too. So yeah. So anyway, ask Naruto, which is, go the next day and enjoy his school, and Naruto go the next day and do what he's told. As Naruto would wait there for hours, as this is when they would see his deity transformation. As Naruto would his arms would go into his gauntlets, he would get a cap on, his hair would grow a little longer, his eyes would then glow like a bright white, and along with his face paint on that he has even in his base form. Yeah, he gets chest plates and armor plates. He gets what's the name? He gets like protection like parts on his gauntlets, and then he gets like a tunic. Basically, looks like in this picture. That's what he looks like right now. Is he just that muscular? Is he's now taller than Kakashi? He's basically as big as Escanor, like in his normal daytime form, not the one or not like near noontime, just regular Escanor height. He's still very tall. Because if you ever played the not I was about to say Seven Oceans, if you have never played if you have never played the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the first deity is a giant. Like he can be compared to the size of the bosses in the game. So yeah. So trust me, you don't want to mess with this man when he angry. But anyway, no, sorry guys, I'm a little tired. I'm in school. I was in school a couple minutes ago. So I'm gonna post another video till around 11:30 because that's when I get up for school. Because today's a half of a day for me. As Naruto would begin to swing his sword, training with it until he was stabbed to the ground. He would make multiple swords would come out of it, as he would say. As the first deity with Naruto, that's one of his abilities. If he sticks the sword in the ground, multiple sword spikes would come out of it. And he would say, "You still have a lot to learn, kid. You may have mastered every single normal style of a swordsman, but you still have to learn my fighting style. The divine deity style. That's what I call it." First lady would say. So he says, "Alright, got it." So Kakashi would get there as Naruto would transform back into his base, as well as armor and everything disappeared as Kakashi did see like this aura, immense aura around him. As he's like, "What is that, kid?" So this is when, everything else pretty much, this is when like Sakura still point out that there's still only two bells. This is when Kakashi says, because Naruto explains, when Naruto didn't even talk, and Sasuke explains that like with two bells, it's a lower chance of success for all three of us, Sasuke says. Naruto didn't feel like talking because he doesn't have to talk. So yeah. Anyway, that's what Naruto would say. This Naruto wouldn't even talk. He would just move. Kakashi said, you and normal attacks won't work. Naruto said he won't have to reveal his own trump card right away in the battle. So he's just trying to use his normal attacks. As Naruto, if you guys wonder, if not, does Naruto have like Rasengan? Yes, he has a silver Rasengan. Because he basically has like the color of the godly display from Dragon Ball Universe. That's like what his Rasengan is, and he can make it as big as the godly display with one hand, and he can make it as big as a spirit bomb with two hands. So yeah. So this is when he does like his sword towards him, which Kakashi tries to catch but electrocutes him just with him touching a finger on his sword. This is when he's like, Naruto's like, "Got you." No, this one says, "Ha, he says. Link only says a few groans. He doesn't talk. Which Naruto doesn't talk either. He either writes it down, or he just shows his shoulders off. So yeah, as he grabbed the bills with that, not even needing to go into first aid. No, if Naruto was actually trying to beat Kakashi, like Kakashi would have won. One, because he wasn't using his divine deity state. Two, he could caught Kakashi off guard because he couldn't touch Naruto's sword. Naruto can't use the first deity sword in base, he just can't use none of its cool powers. So yeah. He can use the sword, just can't like he can wield the sword, he just can't like hold it with one hand. He's gonna need both his hands. But all his speed and agility stays though. That's like the bonus point he gets from wielding the first deity sword. As they would pass the belt test. As we now go to Thousand Arc, as Sasuke and Sakura ask for hiring. Mission Naruto stand in the corner because he didn't care about the hiring mission. As Haruzuma asks Naruto, "Where do you get that sword?" Naruto says he found it, and then he found it in his finder. Naruto just writes down he found it in his finder's keepers. So Sazuna would see his guys, and Naruto's actually taller than Almas, and Naruto's like around the size of a Shippuden himself. So he says, "Oh, at least we have two adults here." And Naruto's like, this is when like Naruto rolls his eyes. He's like, this is when Kakashi says, actually he's 12. He's just naturally tall. He sees me, and the kid's pretty buff. He must have worked out. He says, "Alright, you guys can make a good team." This is when like go to go to the first gate after packing their stuff. As like the demon brothers try to attack them, but Naruto just he kicks both of them in the face and stabs them both in the chest with the first aid sword, and then put them on the wall with the sword still in hand. He wrapped them around a tree and then kept it in place with a kunai. He then put his sword. He then wiped off the blood with mom say like a wipe he had. As he then put it back on his shield, as he says, he's thinking, "Whoo, this place looks like shiny and clean." It's like I'm not. It's like that's the way to say that in his head. It's only ever done to Yosaka and the first Deity in his actual voice. So yeah, as we go to as they can this is when Naruto this is when Gaji still acts as like Sazuna like why were the two training like ninja coming after you if this is only a searing mission is he supposed to be into about like how he didn't have enough money and everything. As Naruto shook his shoulders as they continue as Naruto senses a big sword coming towards him. As before anyone Hunter jumped into the air flawlessly, begins to fall down to the ground as he catches the sword with one hand.
What's up, guys? It's Yahigo's Uchiha, and today we're gonna be posting part 4. So, what if Naruto was the international PhD link? Now, before the video started, in today's Plus like the majority of my videos, and I was going to know this. I made 18 plus because I need romance and check my neck, so I don't do it because I'm a player. Me and Jeff tell you this all the time. So yeah, I'm not a popular girl. I just use it for I just need it just to get some interesting stuff in it before I always. Besides, you've seen people always beat each other up. So you guys are a fan of me because a YouTuber friend of mine, you guys definitely know him as. He's telling me to stop doing YouTube videos. So yeah, but I've been listening to him for putting out some really good video. Get my 18 plus account on my channel for free because I want to make the videos I want to do because I like making my videos because not because I'm a cover, because I'm real now. That's what he doesn't understand. But anyway, we're going to show anyway. Um, um, uh, just like if you pretty impressed to see the kid, she had a peanut touch the boy with one hand. She was saying not that shit, but that's not. It's not gonna be enough fun for me. She's simply annoying her to do the thing stupid. Mind you that. So yeah. So anyway, we're ready to get that man on. So yeah, so pretty much he didn't say. I was probably like, how did you do that? This is the source, by the way. It's like, so sorry. Wrong thing. I'm not gonna lie. And so he will have these two swords. These two are earthly. These two are earthly swords he's gonna need. So this brother's like, get back up. As if you can save him, says nothing. He simply just, this is when he simply repaint and saying, and he said saying, fire stone, cremation destroyer flame. This is when like he used blue flames. This is his motto's jutsu, but instead of it being instead of it being like red, it's gonna be blue. Shocking Sasuke and Sakura. Even Pistachi is talent as he can use it already. So like you see the two CD instant and not anything. He was like, what sword wasn't good for his sword wasn't better than anything. It's building his sword back as nice. Without being in his deity transformation, he's like showing another ninja, so he's going Kakashi even without his eyes are as good ever shine down. So yeah, and if I get careful, when he's old. So yeah, and if I get careful, when he's old, we're gonna just gonna get better more and more. So anyway, so he would then say, this one he would then take out his sword, is he would get magical gauntlets. He would get super muscular, his tunic, his armor plate, his necklace, his eyes would glow. He would get tight pants and large boots and a massive sword as he's holding like he is in the picture. As he's saying, stay! As he basically get your attention from each. So yeah, the devil razor with the block with even though it's super stressful, but just barely with the block to attack you because it's an attack from first link, mind you. So yeah, because again now, I found out that the first duty is stronger than Goku Master and to keep your perfect first. So yeah, with these episodes, it's gonna be more broken, it's gonna be more broken, mind you. Not everything that was broken in the video. So yeah, you might see it if you watch the Fifth Commandment. Now please give that channel a title. It's my one of my like child of 10 other YouTubers. But we're really at for it. Because I just renewed it for now. It's not enough. So anyway, class weekends in the afternoon. Like this is when they go into a soul clashing, where it's basically Mario versus Versus Part 2, like Hustle and versus Base versus Being Like Rebels, so this is just the clashing. And without even showing that they ever tried his father's, when he grabs his pen and put it behind his back, he kicks him in the dead, putting him flying into a tree. And now he was thinking, how is it supposed to be even if it's like crazy him? Where the fuck I tell you. Yeah, class week, two. And I try to get him to say, they fucked him down. He's saying different glass from the sword. No, he's shocked around the baby. Until he nearly kills him. But he never see him do something his head with his neck. Every single like instead of having like this aura, he ran around with the aura on him. So like he decided to put the aura, keep the aura away. Yeah. And episode we just okay, so thank you. I've been looking for this one. I've been looking for being a member of the most for a while now. It's just making me usually I drive way easier than this week. Way better on. I should go over where now until the change to face. So yeah, this is the old one now, but I changed it a bit to make it more unique. So anyway, I was listening to the transform actually on the foot. Cinnamon. When the sun really, oh no, first part, I think I was shit up business some of the field, and I'm just coming on to small but yeah. This is when my tacos were stored and once someone and I thought she was shit around, she just believed in all of it. She knows that no one's a good guy. She's not like she sees it in her just saying it's and protect everyone at the same time. Just putting barriers around them like mirrors to put me together. And just I sound much quieter. It's just that, people want us to sleep, so I have to be more quiet. So, we're pretty much every time to sleep. Now I'm just watching videos of what's going on. I'm making sure I want to continue the Chucky series, obviously, but I want to also continue this series because I enjoy this series. And easy too, because someone actually works the therapy. So, so we would help every time giving them food and alcohol. So, quick question about the training the mountains if you walk up to me like it's nothing. Because she was taking the training. Oh no, she's, you already did the training, I was going to teach you. I was going to go on the bus. The training, he just goes into a God state. He just freaking training. Hey, don't do that! The swing is so fast, like light speed. The swing is so like just training if he can still as he's still transform out of Europe. It's like the past she watches him train. As he sees that he never had him to say a word beside when he needed to. Otherwise, no, me not to let it down, never mind. We never had to talk to his available since when it was 8 when he gained his mysterious power. Or the next thing. And so the question was doing all the time, used to kind of like talk. But ever since he got this power, he just went silent basically. He was never confused or he just was quiet before he could say. Just like his posture would be a little crush on him. She would be wondering, so I'm assuming at the time she wouldn't care, she would keep putting shit out of you like she mattered. And they will have a fusion state. If you watch one in the mirror, forgot what it's called, but the yokai kisses the yokai fox kisses. So she likes most and if you like her too, you'll have a fusion state where she basically gives him fox tails, fox ears, and whiskers. And her powers make her increase. She never obviously have that. But right now, it's not. One, he's 13 after all, so he can't be doing anything inappropriate to him, even though he's of age, because when he's a ninja, he becomes an adult. But, he doesn't like her at all, because, she was rude to him at first. So why would you be nice to someone that was rude to you? So, that logic does not make. It's not to eventually pass out, and he would wake up to me happy. Haku up against six max Haku, Deity and the pressure stone. Emphasis, indeed I do not recheck the six. Indeed, and his head was indeed I do have a pressure stone. For multiple enemies. When his mistake that's really careful with soccer, considering even though she was mean to him, he could still stay true for him either way. As you can clearly tell. Well, remember, yeah, this idea of the original. I don't think I've done anything like this before besides the Deku had the 50 mask and had the use of mask. So I've done this before, but it's for Deku and he uses other masks, but it's not his powers, it's not his powers. It's not a mask or something like that because I pretty much was masks. I was the 680. So yeah. And he's drawn like an anime character like most of the characters in Zelda. So yeah, I just give him extra points for that. Like I said, that's all more and mostly sleepy considering I had really anything one day, so I'm most likely gonna be sleepy then. So anyway, and you know, Haku tells him we're gonna be more, we're gonna use the way more powerful the pressure points. As the two actually get a conversation, the two actually becomes pretty good friends. As long as we see any like living type of like love towards Haku, like it is canon, and if you already know that he's a male because he's stupid. And this is when Naruto goes to beer with a boy, which Naruto doesn't care. He just gives him an okay. So yeah, you know, he would get back, he would go to sleep, once he get back to the family's place. And he would sleep for a couple hours, after he wake up early in the morning, train, as he trains until everyone else gets up. And this is when they all eat breakfast, and they play out. So, yeah, after they play out, and probably challenge Sasha, considering and one Kakashi for a last time, two Kakashi never lost any chocolate this time. He didn't encounter it, and he was going to be able to take out relevant way too easy. Like Haku said to challenge Naruto. And I said, so, it's a really taking just a question. Haku did, but he was slapping up hands back and forth. As he's also on his base right now, and he's not as muscular as he is in his form. He likes to have this muscularness, but like when he's using his jaw power, gets Deity power, he gets this muscular, like he makes this, he goes to his base. So just, just continue what he's doing. As, as this is going to even get into his god form, just to end this quicker, as he gets potential. Or Divine Slash, which would be summon a 50 now, and you know to kill Haku, as Haku would then use the Crystal Ice Mirror, as he would be able to hit Naruto once. Every time he knew he did, Haku would chop up the same bone and like super fast as he's beginning to unlock Naruto's godly power and the Divine Sword art next to speed uses. So yeah, he slows again, charges up energy and accelerating says it's used to expend type, if he can make it into a tornado, as he pretty much kills Haku off. And he said, Sokka's going to get impressed at the kid's development. And he would watch Kakashi face the other way, which he would finish over the off. A stab in the gut, easy as that. Dance would take it reduces. With anger and all the time. To enter. And he was face, but somehow he was able to use the razor. This someone hated with it. Killed pretty much all of them. And so those things are basically like a shrine time. Remember? So yeah. So pretty much that's the phone. So guys, it's your boy Yahigo Lucha Fisher, and today we're gonna be posting what is Naruto was the reincarnation of Fierce Deity Part 5. So we left off where the shenanigans would begin. As Naruto would enter the building, bringing Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would enter the building. So basically what happened is that, Naruto already know there's a genjutsu there and easily break it. Sasuke didn't even have to mention that this timeline, and they would just walk on. Encounter with Neji was the same. Instead of even Sasuke attacking, it still was Sasuke attacking, but Naruto simply looked at him, indicating for him that there's no need to fight right now. Yes, Sasuke listened to him, considering Naruto was more weird. So yeah, basically, Naruto would just go ahead and everything. He asked Broccoli what challenge Naruto, and Naruto was directly of the year. So basically, Naruto would tell him, this is Naruto asks, we would say, we can only fight with taijutsu and kenjutsu. You can use your sword if you like. Like, alright. As Naruto, he has got this sword of the Fierce Deity, which is just like his second strongest sword. So yeah. Alright, so anyway, so Naruto would simply say, alright. So Naruto would simply enter his God mode, as he'll be advanced taijutsu, ninjutsu, all that junk, y'all. So basically, he would simply say, he would simply look at him, indicating to leave, and he's simply going to use physical taijutsu too. Which we all know that's Lee's specialty. So basically, Lee would get done in the battle states and try to blitz Naruto, which he coming behind Naruto, which Naruto just blocking the attack simply. Not even have to look at him as he would hit Lee without Lee seeing him. If Lee would have called for a drop of blood would fall Lee lit. If Lee would see he has to take this one seriously, as indicating that he's about to use the first gate. As he uses the first gate this time, oh my god, it didn't stop him. But Naruto went, but when he hit the ground, he saw that Naruto was only a clone. This was only like a clone Naruto. And you should see a clone with this much damage. As Naruto says, impressive Rockly, but it's not gonna be enough to defeat me. So they're about to pause anyway. So anyway, as Naruto say, alright, this was a good fight. So let's fight again someday. Maybe in the training exam before we would say, alright. As Naruto would simply put his sword back on his back, transforming back to his usual base form. As for Naruto, has a face paint and everything, and white eyes, but no pupil in there, and it's a silver long hair, but he doesn't have a tunic or nothing like that. He doesn't have like none of the god features. He just has the face of a god. Pretty much. His eyes don't glow up on his face. So yeah, he pretty much wears the same outfit mechanics if it's not orange. It's the color of the Fierce Deity, and he wears Link's normal boots. So yeah. Basically, Naruto would go ahead and they would do the test, which Naruto simply It's like, never lost looking stupid at all. When I was so yeah, basically, I was good. Just go ahead with me until then got you. I should be out in like 3 minutes. After he goes on the train. And when Uncle goes through the door, so I knew it was time for him to go back. Train with everyone to go to everyone else and he would meet up with his team. As Uncle continued repeating explaining how it worked, as Uncle still wasn't paying attention. Get him out where his power sword at. Throwing the grenade at him, Naruto would catch it with a finger. Just like Kakashi could catch Naruto's shirt. As she would went right back at her, saying, "Don't underestimate me. It's because I'm not paying attention to what you're telling me." As she would underestimate him. She would say, "Impressive." Like, "Thank you." Not to beg yourself. Yeah, basically, Naruto would just, go with his team until we get to the Heaven's Grove. Just Naruto would get out and not go with a team by himself. Just wanted to go into detail considering he just used the shadow clone jutsu. And they just showed them out and took their Earth Scroll. They would be jumping towards the tower as a mysterious figure sees them, attacks Sasuke. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy. So anyway, after he attacks Sasuke, he just Naruto. As Naruto enters God state, his behavior like the fierce deity. You would like to hear that in the background. Anyway, Naruto would just continue what he's doing, and he would begin to slap on the mysterious warrior. So he's like fire style. Majestic cremation destroyer. Majestic cremation's flames as he burns the figure's skin to reveal its original model, one of the legendary Sani. Naruto can defeat a Kage level opponent, obviously. And when he swings his sword, releasing basically Ketchika's shell, but it's actually green. So yeah, basically, slicing Orochimaru's fake body in half. This is when he would slither out of it, or shed his skin, or slither out of it. He's like, "I'll come back one day for you, Sasuke. This way for you, Naruto. And I'm taking your body." Sasuke biting Sasuke's neck. Sasuke passing out, which Naruto not using any of Yukasaka's powers. Wouldn't pass out either. As once again, Yukasaka would show signs of impressment towards Naruto. But anyway, Naruto knows he has to focus on what's wrong with the Uchiha. So he would pick up Sasuke and deactivate his God transformation as soon as Sakura would get him to safety. So yeah, basically, Sakura would be like, Naruto. Sasuke okay, but Naruto simply shakes his head, and Naruto's hand would simply turn green. And he was using healing medical ninjutsu. Like he would begin to heal Sasuke, so what he would see his medical ninjutsu in his face isn't powerful enough. So he would enter his divine state or his fierce deity state. As this is when his hands start to go a much brighter green, as he's now using his fierce deity state healing. As Sasuke begins to wake up slowly. A bunch of rage fueling inside of him as Naruto calms him down as they focus at the fighting scene, as they had to fight Dosu and Dosu Ken and that other guy. And Naruto said this is gonna be fun. Naruto, I think it's gonna be fun at says. And this is when like he simply deactivated God state. And it's basically, you know, when he versus like Naruto, like with the hands, like moving hands, back and forth. Naruto super suppressed. But that's why like they were equal. If Naruto wasn't so trusting, he would have been doing alright. So yeah. Naruto would just, you know, begin to slap on Deity, which is Sasuke begins to use the curse mark. And he begins to break what's the name's arm. He's like, you must be proud of these arms. He's like, yeah, wow, stop it. Sasuke continues to break his arm. So yeah. But anyway, Naruto, Sakura still calm him down. Goes to his and Naruto and Sakura would head to the tower. It would up here. I'm going to get there. And, you know, get there like something. I only spent like 2 days out there. If I'm here to recover and everything. Meanwhile, inside of Naruto's mind shape, Yugasaka is getting more and more proud of Naruto. You know, it's not a small crush on Naruto. She didn't see it at all. And she does call Naruto in his mind shape. She's like, what do you want from me, Yugasaka? He says, I'm just here to tell you that I'm proud of you, Naruto. And that you're doing a good job. He says, okay, thank you. Thanks for the compliment, Yugasaka. Now can I go back to my training? And she's gonna be like a tsundere and a yandere at the same time. But right now, it's her soon. She's gonna be a tsundere. So yeah, basically, Naruto took to say, just leave me alone, Yugasaka. You're just like everyone else. So yeah, she's not. Chihoro's not though. At least that's what he thinks, because he doesn't really care for anyone. He just have to, you know, he just have to get the job done. Basically, I'd rather read that 3 days are up. Everyone gets ready to fight in the tournament. As Sasuke versus Chakra the Open Guy, Lions Barrage, Ino versus Aqua, Marco versus Ken, Natai Chuma will win. Every fighting can happen. Naruto versus Kyo is way different. As he's just he was like, I want to be the year than Hokage. Naruto is exactly like Hokage. Because he still wants to be Hokage, but not that much. Like he won't be Hokage if he needed. So anyway, as Naruto would have. And he'd be like, I don't know, Naruto simply don't look, I don't care, you can be Hokage. And I want to counter any physical and ninjutsu and genjutsu and everything like that attack right back at you. But I prefer not to use it that much. She's busy looking his face and basically Naruto would be like, whatever. And now trying to finish him. He puts his 2 hands together as he did not appear in front of him. He simply says, the same God. But he was saying that to him in the face. He kicks him up in the air. At the end says, ooh, this means says instead, ooh, monkey, gosh. It's a signature of monkey garage. Later on the series, you know, he did many variations of it. 21, Naruto, just enjoy be cute and walk away. The team publishes energy, shining but no one's walking stop the fight. Simply taking off and shielding his sword and blocking Neji's arm. He's like, huh? House is plated to break through. How is my hand able to break through this blade like this? You have to write because it's the blade of the dawn. Like everyone just thinking he's laughing, but he's like, basically, concept point Naruto is simply just saying, which means no conflict shouldn't mess with girls like that if you're rude. If you have nothing, you would eat stupid shit. Concept like whatever. I'll leave her alone. I'll leave her alone. You simply takes her to where you push people at when they about to get to the hospital. You really don't worry about the stuff that's true. You can just be a nice person. He actively submitted killing. So basically, Naruto just said, and I wonder how everything else went out. And then, Neji versus Broccoli, Cannon. Not Neji versus Broccoli, I'm stupid. Goro versus Broccoli, Cannon. And then the Bushy Battle / Broccoli is going to win. But he's not gonna call him Bushy Battle. Because he has respect for people who focus on one category. He appreciates because he's not a jerk. So anyway, I was seeing Naruto and felt things like that. Every just to be saving things. It's just a point after that, and he was like this soccer. She's like, no, it's not. I love you. No, I'm just shocked. It's like, he wanted me to soccer. Do you really love me? She then kissed him on the lips. Kiss. And take a long kiss. It's like I do not. I've always cared for you. I've always cared for you. I'm not the beast people say I am. She's like, I'm a much kinder person. Yes, being such a sad to few tears. Yukasaka will be the only person he actually said his real voice to. He cries and runs. He thought no one loved him at all, but he would never be loved. Yes, he was simply really the hot springs now. As some girls did went up to him, knocked him, being on a date. He just saw it, like him, as he missed the old and it's dry. It's dry, like me. Young kid, how did you get all those girls in you? He said this and he looked at me saying, oh, I see on. Anyway. It's I know what to say. So, what are you looking for? Looking dry. Basically, he sees him staring at all the pretty girls. So he simply gives him another cut. Anyway, you know what to say, why are you doing? I know what to give him a but why are you doing this, old man? Dry can tell that this is Nanto's son. as he says, just to get pretty strong to get a good blow on you. And he says, like, listen, if you do as I say, I'll teach you how it goes. He says, I look at him like, not really care. Definitely said, you know what, I won't teach you. I won't teach you all this. I won't teach you all